Hello everyone. Welcome to CellBlock Chronicles. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share our content. Danish Manhas was the epitome of a model student. At 17, he was a straight-A student, class president, and a shining example of what every parent dreams their child could be. His future seemed boundless, a trajectory aimed straight for the Ivy League. But on a seemingly ordinary evening, Danish's life would take a turn so dark that it would leave the entire community in shock. It was just past 7 p.m. when Danish returned home from a student council meeting. His apartment was dark, which was unusual since his mother, Tabassum Khan, was always home by then, preparing dinner. As he entered the apartment, he felt a strange, foreboding silence. The usual sounds of cooking and the aroma of spices were absent. "Mom!" he called out, but there was no response. His footsteps echoed through the eerily quiet apartment as he moved towards the living room. His heart pounded in his chest when he saw the scene that awaited him. His mother lay on the floor, her body brutally stabbed multiple times. Blood had soaked into the carpet, pooling around her lifeless form. Her head was covered with a cloth, a macabre detail that suggested the killer knew her well. Danish's hands trembled as he pulled out his phone and dialed 911. His voice shook as he spoke. "Help, I need help. My mother. She's not breathing. She's been attacked. Please, send someone quickly." The police arrived swiftly, the flashing lights of their cars casting an eerie glow through the apartment windows. The scene was chaotic, with officers and paramedics swarming the area, trying to piece together what had happened. Detective Lawrence, a seasoned investigator with a reputation for his meticulous nature, took charge of the scene. His eyes scanned the room, noting the signs of a struggle and the white envelopes that were blood-stained and scattered around, as if someone had been searching for something. "No sign of forced entry," Lawrence murmured to himself, inspecting the undamaged door frame. This wasn't a random burglary. The brutality of the crime, combined with the covered head, led the detective to believe the killer had a personal connection to the victim. As he gathered more information, one name kept coming up: Tabassum Khan. A 43-year-old divorced mother who had moved from Pakistan to suburban Houston to provide a better life for her children. She was known to be hardworking and dedicated, raising her children on a modest income. Initial suspicions fell on Tabassum's ex-husband, but his alibi checked out. Then, the focus shifted to her colleagues and friends, but nothing seemed to fit. The case appeared to be a dead end until Lawrence received an anonymous tip that changed everything. "Danish Manhas," the voice on the other end of the line whispered. "You need to look closer at him." Lawrence was taken aback. Danish? The straight-A student and class president? Detective Lawrence and his team turned their attention to Danish, a popular figure at Robert E. Lee High School, known for his leadership and immaculate appearance. Danish's world revolved around his mother, who provided him with every teenage luxury. Yet, the brutal nature of the crime, 48 stab wounds, defensive wounds on Tabassum's forearms and legs, and bloody fingerprints around her ankles indicating she was held down, told a different story. The police found a bloody handprint on the front door handle that didn't belong to Tabassum. Danish's clothes, however, were spotless, raising suspicions as he had no blood on him despite the violent scene. During questioning, Danish gave an alibi. He claimed he was in Galveston with his girlfriend until 4:30 a.m. He mentioned the door was open when he arrived, suggesting either the victim opened it or it was left open for the killer. Danish admitted to arguing with his mother over her being overprotective and strict. "Danish," Detective Lawrence asked directly, "did you hurt your mother?" Danish's eyes welled up and his voice cracked. "No, I loved her too much to ever hurt her." The investigation took a dramatic turn when Noor Muhammad, a classmate of Danish, was arrested on unrelated drug charges. Noor was found with stitches on his hand and wearing one glove. The police discovered that Noor's blood matched the handprint on the door. Under intense questioning, Noor confessed to the murder, claiming Danish paid him $10,000 to kill his mother. He detailed the crime. Danish provided Noor with a knife and instructions, then opened the door for him. Noor described the violent struggle and his search for money in white envelopes after the murder. At first, Danish denied knowing Noor, but security footage showed them together, contradicting his claims. Faced with this evidence, Danish eventually confessed to planning the robbery to look like a hero, but claimed he never intended for his mother to be killed. The courtroom was packed for the trial of Danish Manhas and Nur Muhammad. The prosecution laid out a chilling narrative of betrayal and greed. Danish, who had been seen as a golden boy, was revealed to be the mastermind behind a heinous plot. Danish Manhas, the judge pronounced, you are found guilty of first-degree murder and conspiracy. You are sentenced to 50 years in prison. Nur, having cooperated with the investigation, pleaded guilty to murder and was sentenced to 40 years. 7 years later, Danish, now 24, sat down for a television interview from prison. The once confident teenager now appeared haggard and remorseful. The plan was never to kill her, Danish insisted, his voice heavy with regret. I wanted to stage a robbery, to look like a hero. I didn't understand the consequences of my actions. Every day, I live with the guilt of what happened to my mother. His words, however, did little to sway the public. Outside the prison, an angry crowd protested, holding signs demanding justice for Tabassum and chanting that Danish should never be released. In the aftermath, the community of suburban Houston continued to reel from the shock of the case. Parents looked at their children differently, wondering what pressures and secrets might be lurking beneath the surface. Robert E. Lee High School implemented new counseling programs, aiming to support students facing unseen struggles. Thank you for watching. Check out our channel for more CellBlock tales.